I like to think that I've been involved in one of those. So if I may, I'd like to talk about one of the projects where I have a role. So I am co-chair of the BICAMS project, which is the Brief International Cognitive Assessment in MS. It's a 15-minute assessment with very strong psychometric properties, and it's becoming used very internationally. We have 40 countries in the international validation pipeline. We have 12 countries with national validations already published. It's also being used in a number of large multinational trials because for the first time we have a measure that can be used in different countries but is directly comparable. So for example, it's being used in the phase 4 cladribine trial. And so that's very exciting for us because it means that MS stakeholders, the international community, have cooperated and produced this measure which has now got these widespread applications. Well, perhaps the one I think that has the most potential at the moment is our BRIMS, which is benefits and risks for medication in MS. As you're aware, the risk-benefit profile of disease-modifying drugs in MS is very complex, and it's quite challenging for people with MS to really understand and engage with that when they're making treatment decisions. So we've done a set of experiments to discover which graphs, which numerical formats, which percentages best convey this information to people with MS so they can easily understand it. And we've put all of these findings into a protocol and presented disease-modifying drug information in our protocol, and then in a randomized controlled trial compared this to consultation as usual. And I was very pleased that BRIMS came out really well. So BRIMS meant that people could remember more information, more understanding. They were more certain about their treatment decisions, and actually people with MS were more satisfied. They found it more helpful, they found it more comfortable to have the information presented in this specific way. So it's a small randomised controlled trial completed at King's in London, King's College Hospital, and we're now looking to extend that work and hopefully produce a software version that can be used in clinics. One of the big challenges is that the pattern of cognitive deficits in MS is kind of like a sort of subterranean pattern. So information processing speed is the most likely to be affected domain. And that's not obvious. So when you talk to someone with MS, their language is often intact, and so kind of the sort of bit that you're interacting with seems to be working fine, but what's behind that, the processing and the reasoning, may not be. So because it's very hard to detect on a sort of conversational, casual basis, it's quite hard to raise people's awareness, both in terms of their own insight, but also in terms of their family and friends and workmates. So probably getting the message across that it's not explicit, it's not apparent, is probably the hardest thing that we face.